and welcome to the second part of our series of videos looking at your fostering questions and answering them. We get an awful lot of comments and questions about whether foster carers are restricted in how much physical affection they're allowed to show foster children. And quite often people have quite a negative impression of their freedom to show physical affection. And so we really wanted to address this because it's not a straightforward matter. But what we would always say is that all aspects of foster care needs to be very much child-led. When you welcome a child into your family, you will have a certain amount of historic information, background information on that child. You should have information on the circumstances that have led to them coming into care. And sometimes there might be some pretty unpleasant things in that child's background that you will need to be mindful of when caring for them. That said, physical affection, having a cuddle, being able to hold a child when they're upset or angry, when they're grieving, those things are really massively important for a child's healing, for their sense of well-being, for a sense of feeling nurtured, cared for, respected, loved. And we really want children to feel like they're part of a family, to feel that they're experiencing a normal, inverted commas, childhood. And physical affection plays a huge role in that. So for many of our children, actually being able to snuggle up on the sofa, have a cuddle, being able to have a good cry in someone's arms, having a story read to them while they're in bed, you know, that's all part of a normal childhood. That's all something that they crave and helps them to feel really secure. For other children, physical affection might be associated with something much more dark and harmful. For children that have suffered abuse, often this has sort of been passed off, if you like, as a means of showing affection. And so a cuddle or too much physical proximity could lead the child to think that something really terrible is about to happen, and could re-traumatise that child. So a carer needs to be really, really mindful of what associations the child might make with physical contact and affection. And yet for other children, they might, because of their attachment style, because of the things they've been through, they might be fairly indiscriminate with their physical affection. They might think nothing of hurling themselves at a stranger for cuddles. And obviously this can make them really quite vulnerable when they're outside of the family home. And so a carer needs to think of ways to help the child discern what is appropriate and comfortable physical contact for everybody. They might need to come up with alternatives. So quite a few of our children are really comfortable with high fives, but much less so with cuddles. So all of these things really need to be taken into account. And this is really the thinking behind what every carer should have when they're looking after a child in terms of the safer caring plan. This is really a set of guidelines that are set for that individual child as to how the carer is going to respond to their needs. And that might cover all sorts of things, but it would certainly cover physical affection, nurturing, how the carer is going to build self-esteem in that child, how they're going to ensure that they have appropriate means of showing affection. And that should be put together with the social workers, with the full remit of information about what that child has been through. But we're always aware that there might be things that come out of the woodwork at a later date. So a carer needs to be really intentional about how they show affection, But they also need to be really observant. They need to watch for a child's response. What is the child seeking? How does the child respond to physical touch? And just tailor your care for that child. But I would reiterate that for many, many foster carers, they are able to hug and comfort their children just as you would a birth child. So thank you for all those who do ask that question, and you know, frustratingly, there are no hard and fast answers to any of these questions, but we hope that this has gone some way to helping you to understand that actually there isn't a blanket ban on cuddling, or you know, sitting on a bed reading a story, as long as the carer is mindful of the needs of the child and that they are also protected from allegations or from potential re-traumatisation of children. If you have any other questions, we will be posting videos up over the next few weeks. So if you've got a burning question that you want us to answer, you can message us on Facebook, or you can email us at info@easternfosteringservices.com, and we'll do our best to answer your questions. And please also keep an eye out for all our events. You can find these on our events page on Facebook, and we quite frequently have little drop-in sessions at our offices as well. So do feel free to get in touch and find out when our next one is. Thank you. Bye.